Hi, quick heads up, I just hit 400 followers on Twitter, so I'm actually giving away this drawing that I made as a wallpaper for free. The link for that will be in the description. Hi, so today we're going to be talking about the benefits of having a small following online. So just as a background info on me, I've actually been posting my art online for I think like 11 or 12 years now. So been doing it for a while, and there have been a lot of things that I've just noticed kind of as the internet has been getting more mainstream and everyone has started using it. These are just some of the benefits that I found from doing this. But just as a small preface, this isn't a video to put down anyone who is famous or has a lot of attention on their art. I'm not saying that fame is a bad thing. This is entirely about the benefits of having a small online following. So that's kind of like saying because you like apples, oranges and every other fruit are bad. That is not the case here. With that being said, let's get into the first one. This is the first and I think the biggest one is the main benefit. It gives you time to refine your craft. You have all the time in the world to actually try things out and fail. If you do something and it's not great at the beginning, that's actually okay. There's no immediate pressure, and it's not going to be a thing that's like memed on and remembered forever by anyone on the internet, because there will be a small amount of people who see it. So because you're not immediately a pro at the start, it gives you a lot of chances to practice your art. It gives you a chance to experiment. You can try different styles. You can switch things up. You have a lot more creative freedom before you're actually locked into one thing that everyone knows you for. In my case, I actually switched from drawing mostly anime style art to painterly, and even though that's a drastic style shift, I feel like I was okay with it because there wasn't a huge wave of negative feedback. It's kind of like people who do music, you know, if one thing takes off and you do anything else that veers away from that and everyone knows you for that one thing, people are going to freak out. The best part about this is there's not very many people to freak out right at the start. So you have a lot more creative liberty to try things out, you know, get good at things and just really do everything you can to make what you want to make the best that it can be. There's less pressure from other people to post what they want you to post. You can do your own thing. You can decide what kind of audience you want. You can decide to be experimental, or if you want to get into a very niche category of things, you can do that. And this isn't just limited to actual art. If you want to make videos for YouTube or something like that, you can get really good at editing. You can develop a good work ethic to actually avoid burning out. If you have an online store, you can actually get that organized. You know, you can figure out the shipping. Do you need a PO box? What kind of packing materials do you want? What kind of things do you want to sell? What kind of label printer are you gonna get? You can figure out all of that stuff instead of just immediate overnight fame, and now you are left trying to figure everything out as fast as you can before that wave of fame disappears. It's better to be ready and prepared for it and then have it happen than to have it kind of catch you overnight and then it completely takes you by surprise. Another thing that is helpful is that you can make more meaningful connections. In a lot of examples for me, you know, I have a small Discord of people that I talk to fairly regularly, and you do actually get to know them, and it's great because you have that one-on-one with a lot of people. You have more regular YouTube and Twitch viewers. It's kind of your regulars that you always recognize. That's not to say that they go away with bigger audiences, but it's harder to make and maintain those relationships once you have a lot more people kind of cluttering in. You know, you don't need to prioritize your old following with your new following and need to ditch one for the other. Another thing is when you do actually make friends, there's less ulterior motives or clout chasing going on. It seems like everyone who wants to talk to you genuinely wants to talk to you because there's more of a genuine interest. They don't see you as a ticket to fame like winning a lottery. You know, suddenly everyone wants to be your best friend when you're a millionaire. It isn't like that. Everyone who wants to be your friend more or less just genuinely wants to be your friend for you other than anything else. And also there's less general and misinformation in your way. Usually people who know you have a pretty good idea of what you're about, and it's not mostly rumor based. That in mind, the next point is also that you get to keep your privacy. This might not seem like something very important to you, but as you get older, it does get more important. You won't be criticized for every small decision that the internet finds out about you. You won't get canceled for liking a single post on Twitter or something like that. If people genuinely actually know who you are, they can separate you from the misinformation of what the broad general public would actually think of you. A thing about that is you also are less likely to become an egomaniac. The world doesn't feel like it revolves around you, so you won't be in that echo chamber of, yes, everyone loves and agrees with everything I say. I gotta become a freaking psycho. You're also less likely to have stalkers, less likely to get doxxed, and less likely to get canceled. That's not to say you won't or that you're immune to it, but it's also a lot less likely to happen. So all of these are just some small points in saying that your privacy is important. You know, the internet doesn't need to know everything about you, and that is something that's easier to do when there's not a million eyes on you. Another thing that we can talk about here, this isn't necessarily a benefit, but we can maybe talk about how immediate fame could backfire. So it's nice to be rich and famous and have everyone love your art right from the beginning. You know, you make one post, immediately blows up, you get famous overnight. Cool. What do you do with that afterwards? You know, like now it feels like you're stuck doing a thing. Now you're trying to catch lightning in a bottle and you're doing your best to keep up. And that can always be extremely stressful. That can put more pressure on you to work in a way that is faster than what you can actually feel like you can accomplish. And with that being said, no matter what you do, the fame will eventually die down. That's not to say it will go away, but it will die down. And then, you know, once that fame is gone, what are you going to do afterwards? You're going to have everything that you did before, and hopefully that will be enough for you. But with that being said, you don't need fame to do what you need to do. So you don't need a million followers to do anything. I actually got into my first art convention at the age of 25. And the reason it took so long is because I applied for my first art convention at the age of 25. So for whatever reason, I decided, oh, hey, my art isn't good enough, or I'm not good enough, or they only want people with X amount of whatever. It's just a lot of general misinformation. So when I actually applied and I got in, I was like, what? I applied once and I got in? So yeah, you don't need outside permission to actually do things. I made an 80-page manga before I had graduated from high school. I've made a webtoon. I've made an art book itself. I did all of these things with less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. And also another thing that is nice is you will have a backlog so that by the time you eventually blow up and take off on the internet, because contrary to the attitude that you might be thinking, I want everyone here that's watching this video to have art success. It's better if you have a backlog and then you blow up. If you have a backlog of things and then people find you, there's a lot more for them to go back and find. They can see the old things that you've made and they feel like they get to know you better. It's like, oh, hey, this person has been doing this for years and I have years worth of stuff that I can go back and watch. Rather than getting famous yesterday and you started yesterday, you have that one thing and you're like, wow, that was fun. Moving on. That's kind of just a couple of points that I've made. Hopefully there are some things there for you to consider. Again, having a huge online following is not a bad thing. If you do actually get that, that is awesome. But this is just a small invitation to say, enjoy things while your channel isn't crazy huge. You know, things are fun at this level. They get more stressful as things go up. What's the experience with your audience been like online? Mostly positive, negative, a mix of both. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And again, a quick reminder, this drawing is free as a wallpaper in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and it maybe gives you something to think about, and I will see you later. Bye.